I feel like I woke up from the 50s.
Yes, it's just woken up midnight.
We don't have to expose me.
Oh yeah, you're quite... Your eyes, it looks like you've been crying or something.
Oh, it feels like it.
Well,
I just never really nap, but when I do, I either wake up anxious, and now I'm still in my nap. But I'm excited to be here.
I had to get a couple of things from the grocery store and stuff, and yes, I finally had some time, and I said, just take it easy, have a nap or something. And it was like an hour or something nap.
But how long were you in the grocery store for?
Well, then I came back, I showered. Like
I don't even think I heard you coming back.
No. But welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Unstable. We're really excited to be back, just the two of us.
Just the two of us?
Just the two of us and 15 horses all around us. Let's start with the drink of the day, because yes, it doesn't have his tea, and that's because when I went to the grocery store, we've been having really warm weather, so I got him a 0% mojito. And there's some mint in there, but we've
been loving the mint anyways.
Yeah, and there's some ice. So
where's yours?
Well, I already tried it. Try it. I want to see what you think.
Okay. Sure?
Yeah. Not me drinking it with you, yeah?
It's kind of like in a restaurant.
It's not bad, right? Okay, it's not exactly, you know, like bursting with flavor like a real one, but it's not bad.
It's for sure 0.
I just want to take 60 seconds to explain why Squarespace is the perfect platform for you if you're looking to build a website or if you're looking to switch over to an easier platform to run your website. I've run my website through Squarespace for many years now. What I loved about it is that they offer hundreds of already made templates that you can just go in and kind of quickly get some inspiration and create what you want from. I can really easily manage my storefront, update stock levels, and do little quick updates to my website also through my phone. So when I'm traveling, it's really convenient. They keep coming out with new innovations and updates to make all the features more useful for your website, and also new creative ideas to make it look always even better and updated. I couldn't recommend Squarespace more highly, especially if any of you like me have no real knowledge on how to do these kind of things. Squarespace will take you through the step-by-step guide of how to do everything yourself and save a lot of money in the process. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, then do use my link, which will also support my channel, which is www.squarespace.com/MattHarnacke, and in doing so you'll receive 10% off the first purchase of a website or a domain. But this could be nice on a warm day. Speaking of which, we've been going through a huge...
Very cold.
We've been going through a heat wave here in the Netherlands. It's been 30+ degrees for over 3 days. Oh, you're still talking about the drink?
Sorry, yeah.
It's been over 30 degrees for 3 days. In our house, it's a couple of degrees always warmer than the outside because it's like this tiny little caravan thing. So in our house, it's been like 32, 33 degrees. Relentless heat. You can't escape it.
Interesting.
But you know, here in the Netherlands, no one really has air conditioning because those days are few and far between. Usually a summer's day is like 22, 23 degrees, especially here on the coast. But anyway, we're getting distracted. So I feel like Yes and I were like talking a little bit before this episode, and I asked him, okay, do you want to touch on this topic, which we will get to a little bit later, and that is, I wanted to talk you guys through the first property viewing that we had, which was a while ago, and we'll be inserting some photos and talking about that, and we said, yeah, okay, let's do that, let's let them in on that, because we didn't film it or anything, we just went privately. It was at a stage where we still actually didn't even know if we were going to sell our house or not. You know, it was
a long time ago.
I would say it was the first property that got our wheels turning a little bit. So we will be getting to that a little bit later. Anything else you want to discuss? I have a bunch of questions as always. But I feel
anything else I want to discuss?
I feel like a lot has happened since my brother was here.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like a lot has happened.
Like what?
Oh, for all the people in Europe, Yes and I are going to be at 𝒂𝐻𝐿 next week and the week after. So that's really exciting. And then after that, it's only a couple of weeks until the Olympics. And Yes and I have tickets, which will be really exciting. You and I have tickets. It was the most random thing because you said to me like, oh yeah, I bought tickets to the dressage. And I was like, what do you mean you bought tickets to the dressage? Because, I mean, of course, like, yes, rides, you like dressage, but you're not.
But it wasn't that easy to get tickets.
No,
either.
exactly. But that's why I was so shocked. I was shook. Because I was like, what do you mean you got tickets? Like, that's so not like you to just do something like that.
Why? I always go to competitions and watch dressage. That's what I didn't understand. All the time, man, at competitions.
I don't think when people think yes to dress, they think, oh, a dressage fanatic.
I like music and I like music and dressage. What do you mean? I always go there. I just don't get why you don't get that.
Well, anyway, I was surprised. So, yeah.
When I go to ARC and when I go to other shows.
Yeah, but that's like work.
Well, I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it.
No, that's true, I guess. But yes, they got us really nice tickets, and I sorted out our accommodation. We're staying at this beautiful, beautiful. It's like this. I don't know if I talked about it before. It's like this big chateau. It's 45 minutes from Versailles, which is where the dressage is being held.
45 minutes.
That's nothing.
By car or what?
By car, yeah. 45 minutes by car. And it's this beautiful old estate, and it's been done by one of my favorite interior designers that I've been following on Instagram. Yeah, it's just.
I didn't actually know that.
It's just recently been renovated, so it's going to be giving us major inspo when we go there for like just looking at like interiors, and it's just incredible. Like the eating area literally looks like Hogwarts. I'm gonna gatekeep the name of the place because I'm hoping it's not fully packed to the brim. But I feel like this is the best accommodation if you're watching the dressage in Paris, because it's quite close, but you're far enough out of the city to stay away from the whole mayhem and chaos of everything. And this hotel's literally brand new. At least the renovations.
Brand new.
The renovations of it are brand new.
It will be exciting to experience the whole Olympic vibe, I think, around like a village and stuff as well. Also, I got the most random email. We've talked about this, but there's a. Did you have two Emporios?
I don't know if I should talk about this. I don't know if we're gonna get cancelled.
Why cancelled? If only you had two Emporios, we would be very lucky.
No, it's not about that.
It's just bullshit.
It's about. So I got an email from a private jet company, which is.
Oh, what are you talking about? Why didn't you stop me?
Yeah, I don't know what you were going on. It's not always about horses, but I
thought that's what you were talking about. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you get two Emporios? That email you got?
Oh no, we're not getting into that. So I got this email from a private jet company.
Talk about this. No.
Why?
Well,
no, we're going to talk about it. We haven't done anything. I got this email from a private jet company saying, oh, we love what you do. We'd love to like collaborate at some point if you're interested. And I said, well, actually, I do have this trip coming up to Paris because we're going for the Olympics. I was like, maybe that could be a really nice way to collaborate. But I don't know if we should go ahead with this because are we going to get cancelled for flying on a private jet? I
think we can just go by car or by train.
And I would, okay, let's be clear. Yes and I would never put our own money towards a private jet because I think...
Never? Well,
I don't see the need for that unless...
I don't see it either.
Unless you have that kind of money and you are that short on time, very well, do your thing. But like... You and I are not in that position by any means. So it feels like, okay, we don't want to be Taylor Swift and like completely ruining the world with the private jet use.
How can you say that about her when you're one of her biggest fans?
Okay, let's do Kim Kardashian.
Oh, Kardashian.
Yeah, but yes, loves them and I don't. Oh. So they get so much
every time.
They get so much hate because they use their private jet a lot, and obviously it's producing a bunch of CO2 emissions, and with global warming and Greta Thunberg is like quaking.
What? Who?
Greta Thunberg? Do you not know who that is? She's the one that's like, you stole my dreams and my future. She's like this really young girl that advocates for like, oh my god, yes, I can't explain everything.
Can she not like have a really green plane?
I don't think green engine fuel exists. But anyway, the dilemma is, do we do this like once in a lifetime thing, or do we like do the right environmental thing and not go?
But I mean, if we would go, wouldn't we go a bit further?
But honestly, if we went, we would drive and we would go with my Dodge Ram. How much more fuel efficient?
Oh, right, we wouldn't even go with your Dodge Ram anyways, but it's not comparable to a plane.
How much more fuel efficient is the private jet than my Dodge?
Well, what do you think?
I have to drive that 6 hours one way, 6 hours back. That's 12 hours of use.
Let me Google this.
Surely, it's similar, like if you think about it. It's a very first world dilemma that we're facing. So
It's ridiculous.
it's absolutely not like a boo-hoo cry for us.
It's not even a dilemma.
But I'm kind of like, oh, I'd love to do it, and then I'm at the same time I'm like, I love the Earth, and I don't want people to hate me. You get what I mean?
We're not going with a private jet, anyways.
Okay. Right, but yeah, very excited about the Olympics. Our Dutch team has been selected.
Are you gonna wear orange?
We talked about this also. I'm conflicted.
Don't out me like that all the time when I ask you a question.
We did discuss this. I don't know how to feel about it because I feel like wearing orange is not the right thing. I mean, I'm Dutch, but I feel like at heart, like I always root for the Aussie riders, even though they don't really place that well typically.
But don't you have this thing, because we know a lot of riders that are going to the Olympics?
Yeah.
If you are wearing one color from a certain country, it's kind of basically saying, I hope you guys don't win.
No.
For me, that is a bit like that also.
No.
Like, I prefer to then maybe just go in
No, I don't think
like
so.
this. You
What
have
I
all the
will
colours.
say is...
Is this actually Harry Potter?
No, it's Ralph Lauren. What I will say about the Dutch team... I know. Not specifically the Dutch team, but what I will say about Dutch riding typically...
Oh my god.
Not a fan.
What is
Not a
this
fan.
podcast? I'll be right back.
What I've seen lately, I'm not a fan. Come sit, I'm done.
Oh.
We're gonna get into the questions.
Can we just be a bit more positive? I don't like being in like this. I didn't know this was the negative and stable podcast.
Well, I want them, this is how we talk with our friends. I want to talk to them like they're in on it. It's
not really true.
We can be friends with people and hold our own views still. That's not a problem.
Anything else?
I don't know.
You want a zip?
I do actually. It was quite good, but I didn't try it with the
so
mint.
sore. I think that's why I was so tired. I started going to the gym again. Oh.
Before you cancel us, it's a metal straw. Don't even try to cancel us. I have a bunch of questions that I thought we would do, and then at some point when it feels right, we can get into the whole first property.
I'm nervous.
Right. So, this question I thought would be fun to start with something fun for you. So the first question is, when does 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐 finally get his Shetland foal? And this is something you've been talking about a lot lately.
I really want one.
I don't know if everyone knows exactly what you're looking to do. Maybe you can explain it.
I mean, first of all, I really like ponies. And I feel like lately even more, the last maybe 2 years. And I have Macho, my Shetland Stallion, and he's very special. I've had him for a very long time. And he has some foals, but I don't have any of these foals. But now when I'm thinking, okay, I might want to have my next pony, but how nice would it be if I just have my next pony, which is a foal from Macho. So I only have a Stallion, so that will mean I will need another mare. So then I can mix Macho and the mare.
Yeah, and the question is when?
Well, I was thinking about it already this year, but then if we're gonna move maybe next year,
Yeah.
then this foal will get born in the middle of like the moving, which isn't nice, I think.
No.
So I think the best one would be once we have our own place, then hopefully the coming year or maybe the year after, depending on also when I find the right mare.
Yeah. And are you looking for any specific type of mare? Do you want her to be black like Macho or... Well, okay, hot take. I really don't like Shetlands that are like Pinto, and I really like Pinto
Macho's
horses.
mom is Pinto and the dad.
But it's not. It doesn't like.
What I'm thinking.
From like a show perspective, I think it's very confusing, the coloration like that. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't give me what I need. Like I think Macho's beautiful. Like he's perfect. And Alizé's pony that's like Palomino, one color, beautiful and perfect. Bear, stunner.
No, but I think for me it's just more about the feeling. If I find the right mare, it will be nice. But if I, it is true.
I'm such a vegetarian. Oh, it's about the feeling and the bond. Yeah, that's all.
That's where we are different.
Yeah, but when you look at an ad, you don't know the character of the horse, so you need to see an ad, and then you think, oh yeah. That's
sometimes these things just come to you in life, and then there she is.
No, I get.
But what I like is that if I have a choice now, but usually it goes very differently, then I would have a mare with like a special color, but then I can breed more afterwards and get all different kind of foals.
Bloody hell, pump that oven.
Well, not
Full.
That's not what I said.
Get your money's worth out of that one.
No, I mean, like, it would be nice to have different kind of foals.
No, I agree.
But we'll see. So, not this year, maybe next year, the year after that we'll start.
I got the next question. We're gonna move on.
Are you happy?
Yeah, and I thought it was actually kind of like a really deep question. It kind of hit me and stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, this is a good one to talk about. So the question is simply, are you happy?
Yes.
You're happy?
Very happy.
I feel like I'm definitely in a really happy place right now. And I feel like what has contributed to that, aside from therapy, self-work, all that kind of stuff, aside from that,
Me.
is you. Aside from that, the weather, it sounds so stupid and I'm 100 years old already, but just having the sun out after all these months and months of rain, it's like literally rain since October, pretty much. And now finally having some sunny, warm weather, it's like the Aussie in me is like feeling hugged.
I mean, okay, can we also be real here? You're the one complaining about the heat non-stop in the last 3 days when we finally had some warm weather. And I was like, I don't want to hear any single complaint because we finally have nice weather.
No, I get that, but I don't want the house to be 32 degrees at night.
Then get out of the house.
Yeah, and then, but the problem is,
the
problem is here in the Netherlands, at night, it's riddled with mosquitoes. It's so many mosquitoes that you get bitten alive. So you can't just like think, oh yeah, I'll just sit outside.
But I get what you're saying. It is a lot nicer with this weather. I've also really enjoyed it.
Oh, this one made me laugh, this next question, because it's in Dutch. And the last word, I'm going to say it in Dutch. And I wonder if you guys can understand before I try and translate it. Ga jij ook met Etro fokken? Why are the Dutch so direct? So
it's not.
No, don't say it before.
Wait, it's fokken means breeding.
Yeah. So someone asked, "Am I gonna breed with Etro as well?" And the thing is, that's not on the plan.
What I think should be on the plan is you're competing with Etro.
Yeah. We'll get to that. There's a question about that. But Emporio is doing his first breeding season. I have inseminated 2 mares for myself, which is really exciting. One is a KWPN cross and one is a purebred PRE. So it's going to be really interesting to see what that's going to look like. But I have a whole project coming out about that and we're going to be following that really closely. But yeah, with Etro, we were looking at him today and we both said like, oh yeah, we probably think he could be in the field with another horse and he would be fine. He's so not stallion-y. I've never seen him get excited about him. I don't think he would even know how to do it.
When we went on the trip from your last video, there were all these mares and everything around. He didn't even do anything.
No, didn't do anything at all. He's just so chill. Next question.
Can I say one thing? Oh, I can't really do the song Pedro, Pedro, Pedro. Like all these words after each other. Can you do it?
Pedro, Pedro, Pedro. Oh, I don't know the rest.
Keep going.
I don't know the rest.
It's a lot of Pedros. Because I do Pedro, Pedro, Predo, Predo, Pre.
But it's not Predo.
No, I know, but that's where it goes wrong. Try.
Cool fact. We're actually, I don't know if you've realized, we're actually live doing a
Actually,
podcast.
I want to include them because I want to know if they can do it. Because
they don't care. Pedro, Pedro, Pedro.
Keep going faster.
Pedro, 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 Pedro. Oh. Next question. You have already achieved so much, but do you still have dreams and ambitions for the future?
I think this is for you.
Why? You as well?
Well, I'm just very grateful. And I hope that I get to do what I do now for much longer. And I would love to do more really beautiful shows and learn a lot more with many horses. And then also for my Brett Nalanta to grow.
I do think you and I have done a lot at a really young age. Like we bought our first house, which was already a dream house, very young. We've gotten to travel, we've gotten to do a lot of things that we really like and own our dream horses and all that kind of stuff. Work with amazing brands. It's really difficult because every time you do one of your dreams, the bar gets pushed higher and higher and higher. And all of a sudden, the old things that used to give you a lot of pleasure and satisfaction and fulfillment, all of a sudden don't really give you that anymore. Because your dreams have become your new normal and then the bar gets set up always higher. So I sometimes struggle, hi therapy, I sometimes struggle with finding fulfillment and joy after feeling like I've gotten it all. And I mean, there's still so much to life that I'm excited about, and I have so many different passions, but I actually now gain so much more fulfillment from non-materialistic things that are not related to like what I just said, like even the fact that we had like a super sunny day and just like really enjoying that gives me way more fulfillment than like anything I could buy myself.
The sun is priceless.
Yeah. And
so most of the most special things in life, they are priceless.
Yeah, they're free.
But that's what I try to see also what I do with my work, because I'm very lucky that I feel like my work is my biggest passion. So I just love everything that I get to do.
But I think you and I definitely have big dreams, and we're on this whole journey now of trying to achieve our next dream, which is finding the next place. More on that soon. But yeah, so definitely lots of plans and dreams and ambitions for the future. I also feel like voicing them, sometimes it's quite scary. I think it's nice to keep them close to your heart. And
I always feel like once you say something that might happen that you're really excited about, or something that you want, the moment you say it, I don't know if I'm the only one, but the moment you say it, it won't go through. And you don't have that.
I don't have that.
Because always when I tell something like, oh, I really hope this will go through, then it doesn't go ahead. So for me, it's best to stay quiet until it happens.
But that is the power of manifestation. That's why when you are trying to manifest things, you have to absolutely embody and believe what you're saying. And if you already are saying it thinking this is going to jinx it, then it will, because that's how
your
manifestation
story.
works.
For me, it hasn't been like that, because when I actually believed it was going to happen and I say it, it doesn't happen. Also, this is very sweet.
Okay, next one. Is Etro going to compete anytime soon? I'm looking forward to seeing his progress.
Well, this is what I was saying. I was saying maybe you, because you want to start at this certain level, just go out. Yeah, just go out there, start maybe even a little bit lower, get the experience, have fun, train towards something, and then go. I think you should definitely do it. Because he's going so well, he's so beautiful, and I would love to go there and support you guys.
A couple of weeks ago, my trainer and I, during my lesson, did the full run-through of the pre-St. George test. And honestly, we were both really surprised.
But just first start 3 levels down.
Yes, but I think, yes, that one. Because I think we are gonna have some getting to know each other at competitions kind of situations where he can be a little spooky. I don't really know him as well as Emporio in other environments. Even though he is a really good horse, he just deals with other things. So I want to start maybe at like ZZ, something like that, around that.
What is that in English?
I don't know, like advanced-ish, medium or advanced.
Because I feel like before you get into that, it's really, really important to have the experience together and get to know each other there.
Yeah.
And because otherwise you train so far to be at a certain level, but then once you go out there, you might like kind of lose it all in that like different situations.
Yeah. So definitely fun, it's in the books, but I will say this. Right now, all of my energy is going onto this new property and doing all of this kind of stuff. There's been a lot of developments and work behind the scenes. So I do not have, we're only going to do this once. So I do not have space in my life for like 10,000 things going on. It came from here with the wind.
But maybe it would be good for you to have something else also. Because otherwise you get so
obsessive.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe talk about that in therapy as well.
Gosh, it's going to be a busy session.
Maybe that could be good to have something else in your life as well and see how you deal with that. Maybe.
Next question. How is the house/farm hunting coming along? How much do we want to say?
It's been something.
It's been a journey, but it's been a really good journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been something. It's not easy because I feel like, if I can say that much already, I feel like what we want is not really out there that much, because I feel like personally for me, I want kind of to have a home and have our horses with us because they belong to our home. But most of the times when you find a home with horses, it's like too small. And if the other side is like you find a big stable, but I don't feel like we want a big stable.
We don't want this 45 stable block thing that looks like a giant refrigerator with no soul. Like, we want something that is gonna feel like our home. Yes, we're gonna have like 15-ish horses at one point max, So we need to be able to accompany that. We need to be able to still, you know, treat them well and have enough space. But we don't want this huge stable for 1,000 horses. And the problem is that for the level and standard that we want, you only get that when you go to professional barns that are huge.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want. But we have found a place that we are really, really interested in and that we're looking into. So that's all my energy behind the scenes right now is going with the advisors, with everyone involved, to try and see if we can make this happen.
Because it's not only liking a place, it's looking into permits, it's looking into more.
Everything. It's just everything.
Yeah.
It's the locations, it's the neighbors around there, it's the permits, it's the council, it's the finances, getting all of that arranged. Also just making that commitment and being like, okay, this is where it's gonna, it's not like, buying a home is not like, I mean, of course it's not.
We want to do it right.
It's not that difficult. Of course, you can always sell a house, but we have 10 horses. It's not like you can just like lift them up in one day and move. If it was just you and I, that's much easier already.
And 2 dogs.
And our home is the background of, like, without breaking the third wall, is the background of our business, is the background of what we do here. So it's not just easy just to pluck ourselves out and then have every single aspect of our lives change. So this place is looking really promising. I kept my eye on it already for a while. And then I just said to Jesse, let's just go and have a look. And now we are absolutely checking every possible option to see if we can make it happen.
But anyways, where we wanted to go first is like...
But we did want to talk to you guys about the first property we ever went to see. Jesse and I were still living at our old house in, I can say where it was. We never did. In 𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘, which is in North Holland.
Close to the beach.
Yeah, really close to the beach, really beautiful place. And we started to...
I do miss that place sometimes.
I think it came more from my side. But I started to say to Jesse, like, you know, we pay quite a lot of money to have this house, and we're still paying so much money to have our horses elsewhere because we can't have more than 5 horses at our home. We are in a bunch of lawsuits with the neighbors, and they're trying to ruin literally our lives with every little change that we're trying to do to make our home feel more like our little slice of paradise. And mind you,
also is ridiculous sometimes.
And mind you, none of these changes affected them, like, at all.
But they're just old annoying people, like, without a normal life and without any positivity in their life, so...
Yeah. So then I said to Jesse, I feel like we're gonna just keep going around in circles if we just keep looking inwards on how to fix it. Why don't we look outwards and see, okay, what does it even feel like for us to go to a property that gives us like that feeling of, okay, maybe this could be it. Now, this specific property came up and I was like, it was the first thing that made me think like, okay, it's a similar setup a little bit to how we have it at home. There's like, the property feels like a home with stables rather than like this huge stables with this tiny home.
It had a really nice feeling, actually.
Yeah, it was this, I'm gonna place some photos up here and videos as I talk of like us going to look and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was like relatively a new build, but made to look quite old. And the house was sitting kind of like at the front center of the property, and all the stable buildings were around it. There was 10 stables, beautiful outdoor, close to the house.
I really like just the feeling of the property also when we were there.
There was a beautiful indoor as well.
Just easy, I feel like, but nice.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And it was kind of in the area we were looking for. Is that area still the 𝒋𝒐𝒏𝒆𝒚? No.
I think so.
It was really, really close to the border of Germany.
Actually.
Oh yeah, it is where you were born. And so we arrived, we met the real estate agent who is from a company called 𝒋𝒐𝒏𝒆𝒚. He's called Arno. He's very, very nice. He's been helping us ever since. He's been our reference point for several things and he's been great. Definitely recommend him. But we arrived, it was nice because I was a little bit hesitant. Obviously we'd like never shopped for a house before because the previous house we were renting and then we ended up buying, but I didn't know if like a real estate agent would take us seriously. I don't know why.
I mean, because we're very young.
I mean, because we're very young, of course. So I was a bit worried about that. Maybe he thinks, oh yeah, these 2 kids, whatever. But he was really, really nice. He took his time to show us around. Firstly, we went to look at the house, and the house was very nice. But I think you and I thought straight away, like, oh, the house is too small.
Well, I think for us to make even a step to sell our house, and then into moving into a new home, I think it has to be definitely like everything that we might miss at the current place. Because if we still have kind of the similar kind of space, like there's not really any point. One thing I did like, there was a huge cellar underneath the whole house, and it had a pool.
Yeah,
and I love really nice. Pool. But yeah, it was still in the cellar also.
So the first impression was, okay, the house is small. And that's one thing that we were also struggling with a little bit. I mean, obviously, Yes and I work from home. Sometimes we have people that work for us that have to then work also at our house. So if we have a small home or a smaller home that doesn't allow that space, you kind of lose your privacy really quickly. And so that was one of the things that we thought about straight away. And I mean, I don't know what you guys think from the photos. Our old home was by no means a small home, but it was not a huge home either. It was more like
it looked a lot bigger than it actually was. Like downstairs, it was very spacious, but I feel like upstairs, it was also nice. But
it's because the roof line goes pitched on these like Dutch cottages. And so you lose so much space as soon as you go up.
But okay, for space-wise, we could have definitely been happy there for forever, basically.
I don't think so. I felt like we had outgrown that based on how we work. If we went to a job to an office, that's already a different story. But once we need to have people in our house
that comes over and stuff.
Yeah, like we only had like 2 guest bedrooms, and I mean, if my family already comes over, it's like there's no space for Yes's family and there's no space for friends. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
quite
home.
Normal not to have at your home.
No, I get that, but that's why when we're now making the decision and knowing how our lives are, we're not going to move for a home of the same size. Then we just stay where we are.
Yes.
We wanted to have more space. But the home was finished really beautifully. It was very nice, but it was too small. So immediately in my head, I was like, oh, I have to cross this one off already. Because, yeah, I mean, unless you want to go sit there and do a whole renovation, but the price point was quite high already of the property. So having to build a whole extension, not even knowing if that was allowed, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Then we went into the stables. What did you think?
I really liked the stables. Like, they were really, really nice. Nothing crazy, but they were very nice, I think.
Yeah, it had a very warm, cozy feeling. It felt, again, more like a home with stables rather than like this huge professional stable.
That's what we like and what we are looking for. I didn't see any other place that had kind of that like homey feeling with the horses.
Yeah, that was the only place that we had seen that was
like compared to our home as well.
Yeah, but then I guess as we started...
But the fields weren't also big enough.
No, as soon as we started to walk around the plot of land, like, I think that was just under 3 hectares. It was like 2 point something, 2.7, 2.5. No.
Yeah, I think so.
I will look it up. I'll put it in here because the ad, there's still some ads of it online. It's sold, but there's still some ads of it. But the land was just too small also for what we were after.
More for us to make a big change like that.
Yeah, because I mean, our home, that's what we felt was lacking. Also was more space in the fields for the horses at our old house. So it didn't make sense to go to a place that didn't give us the room to expand in the future. I feel like it would be another place for 10 years, for 5 years, and then again we would have to move.
And that's not really the goal.
The area was not as cute as I thought it would be.
Yeah?
No. And we drove through that area not that long ago. And I told you again, I was like, this is not, it doesn't feel like the right place for us.
Yeah.
But it was a great first step, and it definitely was, I think, of a light bulb moment of like, okay, we could see ourselves somewhere else. Because even though that property wasn't perfect for us, there was so many great positive things about it that I think it definitely reassured me, at least, that like I was like, okay, yeah, this could be an interesting thing.
Because I feel like you can always think really big, what I've said before, I think, and which I really like about you. For me, I think our old home was already like such a huge dream home.
For me too.
I know that, but I can only speak for myself. That I couldn't see myself going somewhere else. But then going into the process, I think it was very nice to see that there is more out there also that could be very nice.
Yeah. So even though in the end it was not like the right place for us, it was certainly great to go there and experience it. And I mean, you guys will see it from the photos. The place was absolutely beautiful. But we were so attached to our old home, we needed to find perfect in order to move.
Yes.
So that it was not enough of what we were looking for back then.
But then you see a little bit of what we looked into already.
Yeah.
Before we get into the rest, which will not happen right now.
I already know in the comments they're all going to be like, oh, this place is fantastic, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Yeah, but
okay, for us to really sell our home, that was also really beautiful in my eyes.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not just going to do that. And it was very expensive.
It was.
And it didn't make a huge difference from what we had right now.
Yeah.
So
it felt like we were limited still.
Yeah.
But
and we want all of our horses to like have even like more space. Yeah. I feel so spoiled saying these things. I mean, we work for everything, but I'm saying like the goal is just to really have something really different than like everything we want.
And we are really going into this.
Goats.
Oh my god, not the goats.
And ponies.
And we are really going into this thinking long term. Like we're not here moving just so we can move again in a couple of years. Like we'd like to set roots and like that be the place that we can like really settle into, really mold and really like put all our time and devotion and love into.
But okay, we also don't have to explain ourselves because everybody, most of the people that look for a house, they see places they like, but it's just not the one for them.
Yeah, and that was the case for us.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the place. Maybe you can start to get a little bit of an idea. I mean, Jess and I have talked in the past about like what we like, that it needs to be a little bit of an older characteristic style. We want it to be in quite a country setting. So just let me know.
This wind is picking up, sorry.
I know. Just let me know what you guys thought of it. But yeah, fun to finally be able to share a little part of that. Okay, that's
why.
it.
I really feel like horses make me feel better. Like when he just started cuddling me, I have all my energy back.
But it's over. We're done. We're finished.
Yeah, but I feel a lot better now. Not that I didn't feel good. I just woke up like in another dimension.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Yes, some elements of the podcast were completely out of touch. Yes, they're completely, this whole private jet conversation. And yes, I mean, us thinking we want a bigger house, all that kind of stuff. There's bigger things in life, but this is our life. This is what's happening here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please take everything with a pinch of
salt.
No, sugar, because we want to make it sweeter. Yeah, just with vinegar. This is just our lives. It's not that deep, so I hope no one gets offended or anything by anything.
So cute.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching, and we're going to catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.